Okay, so this is how I literally wrote my first draft in less than a month, okay? So this is the master plan on how to write your first draft insanely fast. Even if, look, listen, right? My book is literally a fantasy book. There are so many different places, so many different complicated things going on. Everyone is everyone, everything is everything. And I still managed to write the first draft in less than a month. How is this possible? Okay, so number one tip would to be, when writing it, you don't have to write it in chronological order, okay? Like sometimes, let's say I'm writing one chapter, I don't have to write from the start of the chapter to the end of the chapter. Sometimes if I get it in the scene in the middle, I'll skip it, and then I'll write the bits that I want to write until the entire chapter is finished, right? Because then that is an actual really smart way on how to actually finish it fast, because you're motivated to write each part. Whereas if you have a scene you don't want to write, just skip it and come back to it later. Then also you need an outline, okay? Make a detailed outline. It doesn't need to be like, yeah, so in the world building, here's a million different types of parts of leaves, because then you're wasting your time. But outlining will just allow you to actually not get trapped in the plot hole, plot circle, plot loop, plot orifice. Instead, you know what scene to write because your outline is literally telling you what to do. If you need a video on how to make outlines, I can tell you how I made mine, because it was literally so good that I managed to write the first draft super fast. So that is literally what you need to do. Make an outline for your characters, and for the plot and for the world building, so you can easily reference it. Next would also be to create a Google document that is literally make a Google document of descriptions from other books, and also create a Google document of random ideas you get, or like writing prompts. If you guys want a writing prompts video, also let me know and I'll make that. But literally, these two Google documents will really help. For example, in my book, like, if you need, everyone's just getting injured 24/7, right? So if I need scenes of characters describing pain and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to write, just open the document and just do that. Obviously, if you're taking it from other books, don't copy it word for word, but it's really good for information. Another thing is to use ChatGPT or this other thing called descriptionari. Descriptionari is basically you just search in like descriptions of XYZ and it will come up with lines of that from other books. And then ChatGPT, you can literally just ask and it will come up with its own sentences, right? Those are other two really good ways to do it. And then for the other document, any other ideas you have when you're just chilling, write. Another good tip would just be to write when you're actually inspired. So if I'm just chilling and then I'm like, wow, I really feel like writing right now, even though I'm on the bus, bro, get out your phone and start writing, because then every single word counts and will lead to you finishing your first draft. So that's what happened with me. Also, what I did is I wrote every single thing that's meant to happen in the plot and put it on my wall on post-its, but you will have to use blue tack instead of the actual stickiness because it literally fell off when I just relied on the stickiness. I color coded it. I did different colors based on different things, right? And then I put it all on my wall so that I can have a visual reminder. And then when I finished it, I think I even like crossed through it because I wanted to keep it on my wall. So then I can actually see how close am I to actually finishing the first draft. Next is do not over edit, okay? If you make a spelling mistake, if you think, oh my god, I need to go back and change this, just have a document, make another document called editing, and just write, okay, shit spelling, just need to fix that. Or you don't even need to write that because you can just do it when you're editing your book. But you can literally, like, if you think of an idea, just write, or like something that's a flaw, instead of going back and editing, you will literally spend the entire time just rewriting the first paragraph over and over and over and over and over. And then you have a really length first paragraph, but you won't actually finish an entire book. It's like Lee Bardugo is the queen of writing. Okay, such a close kingdom. And she said for her first draft, she literally just writes a bunch of random trash and just writes everything that happens in her outline out, and then she goes back and changes it. So that is how you need to finish it. Write trash, okay? You literally don't compare your first draft to other people's final product, because their first draft is probably as bad as yours, if not worse, okay? And people like to be like, my first draft is shit. No, your first draft is really good for a first draft, okay? It's not meant to look like a finished novel. Like, if you have an unripe mango and a ripe mango, your unripe mango could be the longest mango, right? Longest unripe mango, and then you're just comparing yourself to a ripe mango, whereas you just need to keep on doing it until you get to the final product, and then your mango will probably be even better than the ripest mango. I love mangoes. But yeah, literally write your fucking first draft. Then what I also did as well is to literally just set a timer and be like, I need to write for 1 hour, because I understand people being like, I need to write for the joy, I don't force myself to write, and that's very understandable. But then sometimes you're like, I can't be bothered to write, and then if you just force yourself to write, you're like, wow, this is so fun, I love it. So that's what you also need to do on how to finish your first draft at literally supersonic speed. Another tip, and all the pro authors do this, like Brandon Sanderson was literally saying like, oh my gosh, I force myself to like read every day because it's really good for my writing. Because if you're reading things, that's leading to you picking up on that words, picking up on the vocabulary, so actually improve your writing, and therefore you'll be faster at writing your first draft. Another tip would to be literally just write it, because the more you write, the better you get at it. So instead of wasting your time writing a super detailed outline, just get started. It's like, you know how people are like, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I waste all my time at like planning, I need to get the best camera, I need to do this. No, just start making videos, and then the more videos you make, the better your videos will be. That's kind of how you need to approach your first draft, and just do it at supersonic speed. Then also you need to prioritize your time, okay? You can't waste your time doing stupid stuff instead of actually putting in effort and actually writing your first draft. Instead, you need to be supersonic speed writing your first draft, prioritizing it. Literally, you need to create priorities in your life, because if you're wasting time doing other stuff that isn't important to you, then you have no self-respect, you have no self-esteem, and you have no self-worth, because you need to actually be prioritizing your goals in order to actually achieve your goals, which is why you need to be writing your first draft, okay? Another tip would to be to put it in Comic Sans, because it makes you feel less stressed about making it perfect, because Comic Sans is a font that's just not associated with perfection. It's associated with like, I don't know, trashy flyers, I don't know. So literally just put it in a crazy font, put it in fuchsia, write your book in fuchsia, okay? Spooky spoon color. And then you'll just feel like, okay, I'm not even writing this like to be serious, I'm just writing it for fun. And then you'll go insane, right? Because if there's less of an expectation you put on yourself, the more likely you are to just go crazy and finish it. And then that's how you can finish it at supersonic fast, super lightning McQueen speed, you know? Another thing would to be literally set yourself for like specific parts of the, like, you know how in the outline you have the character part, the world building part, the plot part. For the plot part where you're writing down specific points, set yourself a specific number of days, or like a sort of like, what I do right now is I have it in a spreadsheet. So I write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. And then on the side I'm like, write this, write this, write this, write that, write that, write X, write X, write that, X, write 9, write 9, you know? And then like for the specific plot point, you can just write the amount of days that you take. Make sure it's realistic. Don't be like, yes, I need to write chapter 1 to 7 in 1 second, because no. And then also account for the fact that like, so not every single day you're going to be able to write. There's going to be crazy shenanigans going on, like your entire house could set on fire, you know? Arsonism. Oh my god, my character's an arsonist. I love him. But yeah, literally write it, and then that is a really good way to stay organized. Okay, so this is the main way on how I actually managed to write it in a really fast time frame, and that is to just write a lot. Because you know how people are like, study smart but don't study hard? And then I remember Ibs Mo, like the study YouTuber, was saying that, but he was like, but are you studying at all? That's the same thing with writing, okay? Are you even putting in the hours? Are you even putting in the effort? Oh my god, people outside can literally see me speaking into a bottle of hydrate and defrizz hair serum. But literally, you need to be actually putting in the hours. I was writing for a long amount of hours every single day, and then that's how I managed to finish my first draft so fast. Whereas with editing, I just took ages because I couldn't be bothered. Me calling myself out, and then now I'm actually editing properly, so I'll probably finish it soon, right? So that is what you need to be doing. You need to actually be staying disciplined to yourself, okay? Even if you don't feel like writing, you need to force yourself, and then you'll realize you actually like it. You need to prioritize your own time. You need to ideally think about the future, okay? You need to follow your logic, not your emotion. If your emotions are saying, oh my god, I want to go on TikTok, and then your logic is like, no, I want to actually achieve my goals and I know it will benefit me the most, then just do that, because that will actually lead to you actually having a more beneficial experience and will lead to you achieving your long-term goals. Because in the future, yourself isn't going to be like, damn, I wish I went on TikTok more. Your future self is going to be like, damn, I wish I actually edited my book instead of not doing it. I actually wish I wrote my first draft instead of not doing it. I actually wish I wrote my outline instead of first doing it. So in order to do your first draft, you literally just need to put in the hours. There's no magical way to write your first draft in 2 seconds, okay? Because I might have done it super fast, but that's because I was putting in the hours every day. If I was getting the bus, I was doing work I was writing on the bus. If I was in a waiting room, I was writing on the waiting room. You need to be dedicated, you need to be disciplined, and you need to be consistent. You need to literally hardwire your brain, because the more you do something, the easier it becomes. So the more you write your first draft, the faster you will get. So if you're slow now, you can't let that stop you, because you will get faster. You need to also enjoy the process. Don't just constantly think, wow, I want this to finish, wow, why I want this to finish. Instead, enjoy the process of actually writing your book, because if you're having fun in the moment writing your book, then it will be a much more enjoyable experience than if you're actually writing for the joy and actually because you love writing it, because it's so fun and because your characters, your world, your plot, oh my god, the plot goes so hard, your characters amazing, and you're writing because it's just so fun, then you're gonna write more than rather than being like, oh my god, I'm so stressed, I need to finish my first draft, I need to finish my first draft, I need to finish my first draft, because then you're not gonna finish it because you're just stressing. And you like, it's like how people say you need to have identity-based goals rather than like goal-based goals. Or like, I don't know, but like, so instead of your goal being like, I need to finish my first draft, your goal should be to become a writer. You need to enjoy writing, you need to love writing, and not being like, don't stay disciplined, but you need to enjoy the actual process and do it out of love rather than just focusing on the final product. Actually focus on how good your book are, because that's how it's gonna be quality as well. Like, you're doing it for fun rather than being like, oh my god. You're just putting pressure on yourself, okay? Like, writing is fun. Think about when you were a child and you were writing, because it's so fun. It's literally so cool. Oh my god, the different magic systems, the different characters, found family, how they interact with each other, them being morally grey, they're going to assassinate people, they're going on a heist, they're going on a quest, magic, creatures, romance, enemies to friends to lovers, friends to lovers, love, or no romance, books with no romance, unique, iconicity, you know, literally. Writing is fun, so you should literally just write your first draft because you like it and because it's fun, because like your emotions and your brain, maybe because when you write you have the chemical called serotonin which controls happiness, but then when you go on TikTok you have dopamine, and then your brain is just going to be a dopamine addict. You need the quick rush of dopamine, but you need to be logically aware. You need to follow your logics, not your emotion, because when you were a kid you would literally read multiple times every single day. The reason why you would read multiple times every single day is because you did it for the joy, you did it for the passion, and you didn't have quick sources of dopamine such as TikTok, such as YouTube Shorts. Whereas now people literally tell me I never read because I'm too busy on social media. You need to be aware. You need to follow your logic and be like, okay, I'm going to do the things that are going to benefit me even if I don't get an instant rush of dopamine, because it will lead to long-term happiness. Whereas if you follow short-term happiness, you will not be happiness. You need to prioritize yourself now and your future self. Anyways, that's how I wrote my first draft. Thanks for watching.